The end of Xbox could be upon us. The new Elden Ring game that no one asked for, and boomers prove yet again that they have no idea how gaming works. I'm Ash Dixon and this is GINX News. Xbox v PlayStation seems to be a tale as old as time. Green versus blue, X versus, well, X, kind of. I know it's officially called the cross button, but come on, no one calls it that. It's a rivalry that's raged on for as long as I can remember, but now there's some serious signs that things are about to change, and there are huge question marks on where the hell this road leads. And we've talked about the Hi-Fi Rush port leaks, or the rumors that Starfield is coming to PS5, much to the overwhelming indifference from PlayStation owners. From one section of the internet, we hear about Indiana Jones coming over, and we hear about Gears of War also being ported. And it's got to the point that Xbox's Phil Spencer has had to acknowledge the big, massive elephant in the room. He's tweeted out, "We've been planning a business update event for next week, where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox." Details-wise, that statement is light, but we can read between the lines, and something big is about to happen. There's definitely an initial panic here from Xbox fans. Some are even suddenly selling their Xboxes in a fit of rage, while others are just in a state of delirium around trying to comprehend what's about to happen. So let's just calm down a little bit and break it down. Because when we weigh up all the information we've got, there's actually a few different directions that Microsoft could go. Let's start with the most dramatic option, which a lot of people are already jumping on. They kill Xbox. No more consoles, no more hardware. In a way, it makes sense. Hardware is nearly always unprofitable for gaming companies, and it's the game sales and the subscriptions where they make their money. Microsoft have said themselves that they've lost this generation's console war, and they own a ton of studios now thanks to buying up Bethesda and Activision. So why go through the pain of developing, marketing, and selling a new console in a losing battle when you can just cut out all of those costs and just make a load of money selling all of your games to anyone who wants to play them? But this does have a few issues, mainly because it's hard to see where Game Pass fits into all of that. Yeah, they can bring first-party games to other consoles, but I don't see Nintendo or PlayStation allowing Game Pass on their platforms. And while PC Game Pass players are a sizable chunk of the audience, it's not enough to sustain the loss of all those Xbox players. So for me, this looks pretty unlikely for now anyway. Another option is that Microsoft is just killing the idea of first-party exclusives on Xbox. Yeah, their games will launch on their console first, but maybe a year later, everyone else gets it too. And for a company that owns a ton of game studios, it's a lucrative option. Suddenly, the potential sales of your games double, if not triples, especially when you take into account how different regions gravitate towards different consoles. Obviously, this would come at a cost. Those exclusives help drive console sales. But Microsoft might be gambling on both Game Pass and the earlier access to games being enough to draw people to keep buying Xboxes. Lastly, and I don't see many people talking about this, but it could just be a short-term move. Xbox has performed awfully this generation, and that's going to hit every single first-party Xbox game too. Sony and Microsoft have both been pretty vocal that we're not going to see any new consoles until like 2028, so Microsoft might just be cutting their losses. They're holding their hands up saying, look, no one is buying our Xbox games, and we've got to recoup those costs somewhere, so for the next 4 years, they'll be available for everyone to buy. And then when 2028 rolls around, they drop a brand new console and they start fresh with the exclusives. And this is probably the safest route for Microsoft, though there is the issue that once they've opened those floodgates, it will probably be very hard to close them again. Now, we'll have to wait until next week to find out which of these things actually happen, or maybe they'll announce something else entirely. But I think it's also worth noting here why the CMA flagged cloud gaming as a major issue for the Activision acquisition, because think about it. If cloud gaming becomes widely adopted, consoles just become obsolete. As long as you have a strong internet connection, you can just play Xbox games on basically any screen. No more expensive consoles to develop, market, and sell. And if that is the future, well, Game Pass puts Xbox in a massively advantageous position over its competitors. Whether widespread cloud gaming is even a possibility, though, is a whole other question, and I'm keen to know what you think. What would you do if you were Microsoft? Would you ditch Xbox? Let us know in the comments. A new Elden Ring is on the way, and now I'm going to immediately kill your excitement by saying it's a mobile game. And it doesn't look like From Software are behind it too. They're too busy beavering away on the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, as well as updates for Armored Core 6. Instead, it's going to be made by Tencent, you know, one of the biggest investment corporations in the world. They acquired the licensing rights to Elden Ring after the game took off, and yeah, they weren't going to be sitting on that bad boy for very long. According to Reuters, they're going to make Elden Ring a free-to-play title with in-app purchases, so this basically feels like they want to own their own Genshin Impact. But this is where things get murky, because Elden Ring was a one-time purchase game. Granted, Shadow of the Erdtree is on the horizon, but that's a DLC. There's no shop where you can buy the Ice Wind Hatchet for $20 or the Magma Blade for $50. And Tencent probably aren't the best people for the job either. Just a few weeks ago, they axed their project on the Nier franchise over, shock, monetization concerns. So the initial reactions have not been good. Fans are, unsurprisingly, already skeptical about the whole thing, and who could blame them? Here comes a company that has a history of making trashy mobile games, taking on one of the most popular new IPs of the last few years, and giving it the Genshin treatment. Now, I should caveat all this by saying that none of this has been confirmed by Tencent or From Software, but I'm sure we'll find out the details pretty soon. In the meantime, just go play Elden Ring, you know, the OG, because it's very good. And I think we've got time to cover one quick ridiculous story. Over in South Korea, a judge has ruled a man isn't a pacifist because he played Pubg. And now he's going to serve 18 months in prison. Yeah, it's a wild one. So basically in South Korea, they have mandatory military service for all able-bodied men. Now, there can be exceptions for successful athletes or cultural icons, and some people claim anti-violence sentiments on ethical grounds. This dude just said, look, I'm a pacifist. Violence goes against my values as a person. Well, a judge has ruled that this is untrue because he played Pubg. Let's just register how ridiculous that ruling is. That's like saying I'm not a vegetarian because I ate a pork chop in Minecraft. Maybe the dude is fine killing people in Pubg because they're a collection of pixels and not a real human person with dreams and a family. Either way, he's now been jailed for 18 months for trying to dodge military service. Maybe next time he should stick to nice, friendly, ethical games like, I don't know, Power World.
Big is gonna be my shield.
Exactly, goodbye.
And this is the part where I say goodbye and you subscribe on your way out, because we like to believe that there's room in the world for gaming news that isn't just some dude's reaction from his messy bedroom. Check out yesterday's video somewhere around here, and we'll see you tomorrow.